Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bible study. I hope you're having a great day today. Today, we're going to start a new series, and we're going to call this series a Bible study for daily living. So, why have I put so much emphasis on the three-letter word for? I think it's a word that really is important, and we're going to do this in our study as well, because today, in part one, we're going to learn for learning to show love and kindness in Ephesians 4:32. So, let's talk about that word for. It's a preposition that indicates the purpose, an intended recipient, duration, or a cause. As a conjunction, it means because. Understanding its versatile usage clarifies the exact relationship between words in a sentence. So if we start that with the word for as a sentence or as a phrase, then we know that it indicates purpose, and we must live our daily life with purpose. So today we're going to be talking about learning to show love and kindness in Ephesians 4:32, forgiving others and being kind, using God's forgiveness of us as the standard. And then in part two, we'll talk about for living out your faith practically. And then in part three, for understanding your true worth. And four, we're going to be talking about for setting your priorities. And in part five, we'll talk about for the daily battle, resisting the culture's mold. And I think this is a big emphasis that I want to put on this is that I wanted to go above and beyond just what we talk about when we talk about living out our lives daily. It's above and beyond just picking up our cross daily or sacrificing yourself daily. Yeah, we must all do those things. We must be true and obedient as well. And I'm hoping that's what we can get out of this Bible verse. So we're going to be in Ephesians 4, verse 32. And here, Paul, in his letter to the Ephesians, he says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ, God, forgave you." And, this verse here, it's a well-known verse. I think people just kind of skip over it. It's at the end of 4, so maybe they don't even read it. But it is a well-known Bible verse that commands us believers to treat others with grace, mirroring the forgiveness that they have received through Jesus Christ, that we receive through Jesus Christ's forgiveness. And, there is a bigger context and a meaning here. The context is that a little bit about it. The verse is found in the apostles, Paul's letter to the church in Ephesus. And the preceding verses, these verses up here, and you can go back and study those. It tells believers to put away like anger and bitterness and malice and slander. And there's a call to this verse here. And the call challenges us to replace negative, destructive attitudes with kindness and compassion. It is so easy to have those negative and destructive attitudes for people that we might disagree with, but we are to replace those with kindness and compassion. And it sets a standard, and it's the ultimate example for forgiveness. It calls us as individuals to forgive others, not because the other person necessarily deserves it, but because of how profoundly God has forgiven them through Christ. So you may not have forgiven them, but God, we know that through Christ has forgiven them, and that can go a long way. So we might not agree with the person. We might not. We might be adamant about our discussions with persons and disagree with their philosophy and everything. But in the end, they are a child of God, and we must forgive them in the same way that we are forgiven. So we're going to do these 5 next parts in short daily devotionals. Put them all together at the end and watch them, and hopefully you'll get something out of them. Everyone, have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow.